day 13 after pairing up. Thought you'd just show you what I do at feeding time in the morning. Nothing too exciting, but people have asked how I made the troughs, one thing, so I thought it would be a good idea to show that, and also how I go around working out who's laid and so on. So this is one of the Jansen sections, one of two, then the other one is next to us on the right hand side. We'll see how this goes because I've never done an action movie before, so we'll see how we go. So I'll let them out first, gets them out of the way, also gives them a bit of exercise before feeding. But also this is an ideal time now to check who's laid and who hasn't, because as you can see there are not many birds in the nest boxes. So we've had a few issues with a couple of them settling here, so we're not doing very well with eggs in this section. Only there's a pair there, she hasn't got any, there's two there. Is there one in here? Yeah, there's two in there. This is another one that hasn't settled well, no eggs in there. So I can go down, I know that I've got so box 1, box 3, box 4, 7, 9, 11, box 12, box 13, box 14, and then the bottom 3 have all got eggs. So I can write that down in my book, which I'll show you in a minute, and keep a record of who's laid. You can see they're all coming in now for their feed. So I'll just show you the feeder. It's a standard feeder, which we did actually make, but it's the insert that people have been asking about. So it's a standard feeder. Oops, not very easy, sorry about this videoing. But all I've made is this insert. I'm not sure I can get this one out because it's a very good fit, but as you can see, it's just a hopper that fits in the top, and I put a gap of 1 inch at the bottom. I just laid a bit of 2x1 in there to give me the depth. I then cut a cardboard pattern for here we go, perhaps I'll get that a bit better, to work out what angle I needed there, and the width of this top here is the same width as the original top of the tray, so I knew that the lid would fit. That's what's that? I think that's what they call 9-ish mil ply. The one thinner than that is too thin, it's too flexible. Then all I've done is put these on the little pegs on the end, basically, just so that the lid sits on them. If you sit it straight on the trough, it tends to fall off. But if you hang it on, sit it on pegs like that, it sort of hangs rather than whatever, fall in. Anyway, enough about the trough, let's get them fed. So they've got garlic, parsley, and linseed oil on their food today. Still on their barley mix. Not very good doing things one-handed. So not much in there at the moment. Obviously only fed once a day, and they'll clear this lot up by tomorrow. So I'll let them come in and feed. I'll just show you the book. So all this modern technology, but I still find this the best way. There you go. They'll come in for their feed. So every pigeon you see there, at least one of the parents is a first national winner. Grizzles are direct children of Mini-Me, first and 99th national. The Reds are direct children of Red Bull, first national winner. There's children of Joe in there, first national. T3 Phoenix, first national. So quite a few of them have got both parents, like the Grizzle that's just running from the left, Joe and Mini-Me are the parents of that one, so that's 2 first national winners. Anyway, we'll have a look at the book. So I've pictured this before but not videoed it. So it's just a normal A4 book, lined. We're in section D, and that means box 1. Those are the parents. And underneath I've got a little shortening of what the parents of those birds are. So like with this one here, I don't know if it's going to focus that well, there you go. So 16X 77283 is a mealy white flight cock. Cock's on the left, hen's on the right. Underneath RB by IDI, so that means Red Bull is the sire and IDI hen is the mother. And over this side then the same for the hens, so SS is Silver Shadow cock and MM is Mini Me. And then new means it's the first pair in this year, so this pair will stay together this year and next year, but on the 3rd year they'll be swapped. You can see I've got a little note there from D5, that's because the hen was in box 5 in the same loft last year and she kept wanting to go over there this year and kept going back to her old cock, but sorted that out. As you can see, even with that little bit of hassle, she laid on the 9th to the 12th. So then we got D2, so that's box 2, the next one beside, but the second on the page. So that allows us to write down the ring numbers of each round then. So the first round of babies will go around about there, second, third, and if they have a fourth, there. As you can see, that's one of the ones that hasn't got a any eggs yet. She's a new pairing this year, and it's the first year she's been paired actually as well. But this is one of the pairs that kept messing around. The hen below wanted to keep going in that box. That's probably why she's taken a bit longer, but she'll be okay. They've settled now because the one below is actually laid. So I'll go through and write down the dates of them when they've been paired. Or sorry, not when they've been paired, when they've laid. Then like when I've got mini-me's here somewhere. Where are we? Keep going. So here are the individual breeding pens. So you can see Seren 11 and his daughter laid on the 10th. First eggs this is. Little and his hen. Po Princess and Earl Grey. And then we've got 10 and Mini-Me. So then what I go when I actually do and candle them, which I've done on a previous video, is I put a tick beside the date. That means both are fertile. And then if only one's fertile, I'll just put a number 1. If there's none fertile, then a cross beside it. So I know and keep a record each year of who's doing what. So I'll go through and do that today for all these sections. And I shall start candling today the very first ones that are laid, because the ones that were laid 5th and 6th and on the 7th should start showing now. In here we've got back in A loft, where are we? So the very first, not where we are now, but the Liam Boars, where they've only got one more hen to lay. I've got some early ones here, 7th, 10th. 8th. So basically I shall look at anything from the 5th to the 7th today, candle them, and I do the same. I candle them when the birds are out, just before I feed them. So I haven't done this with this lot because not many have laid. I find this a very effective method, and it keeps a full record of what's going on, and I could always look back to it in the future if I need to, but this information does get transferred to the computer, but not in the same format. Anyway, that's today's lesson from Tumley Loft Stud. Might as well go back and have a look at the birds one more time, not that they're used to it. See you in a couple of days.